Where are the five guys I'm supposed to be the average of anyway? Business Questions Answered Here, episode 29. This is Business Questions Answered Here. I'm Jay Clifton Payne, an independent business strategist with over 20 years experience using that experience and knowledge to hopefully answer some of your questions and save you some of the pain and hassle that I have personally had to suffer. My business life has been filled with plenty of wins, even more losses, and the realization that knowledge is power, and I'm allowing you to gain some of your own power by transferring knowledge I personally learned myself, plus input from other veteran business people. For more information on how you can get your business questions showcased on this podcast or about any of the business services my company offers, visit the website businessquestionsansweredhere.com. This episode is sponsored by FreshBooks. More on the sponsor in a moment. Now, let's get to today's question. This week's question comes from Bobby, who's having some issues with some classic advice given to personal development followers, something that's not quite gelling for him. Here's how his question reads. I'm having trouble staying motivated in my side hustle. I hope for it to be my primary source of income eventually, but I can see that it will take a lot of time and effort. I'm trying to do more networking with other entrepreneurs and side hustlers, but without any real wins. I'm having a hard time connecting. How do I find my first 5 people that I'm supposed to be the average of? Thanks for the question, Bobby, and here's what I got. And it's no slight to Jim Rohn, but it was easy for him to say that his famous quote, "We are the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with." It was also easy to sell that as a concept. If you want to improve your standings, spend more time with people who are living and working as you wish to live eventually. It's a great thing to sell. But there's a flaw in the statement itself, and that's being the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with becomes a scare tactic to keep away currently low-achieving people who would bring down that total average. If you want to spend time with a good amount of people so that you are in the average of the best, you don't spend time with people who aren't quite up to snuff there. Then there is the overtop mindset that you have to be the smartest person in the room, and a whole nother thing on its own. Taken on face value, this turns out to be pretty bad advice, as high-achieving people are often intelligent and extremely accomplished people, and when they enter the room, they are usually the smartest people in the room by default. They work with people who have their talents, but if they are high achievers, it's hard to find a room full of people who are higher than they are. So there is a problem with selling services for yourself by using maxims like these, and that's that you're selling something that should be obvious. But the people they target are often oblivious to the sales tactic being used against them, usually so desperate for a win, they'll readily accept any good-sounding advice that is actually garbage once you dig into it. As a person who does my services using good-sounding advice, I do my best to make sure it is not garbage, of course, so I'm not going to answer your question with the cliches that are usually tossed out to people to convince them to keep trying, but I am going to toss out the whole keep trying, because you do need to keep trying. Keep trying to tighten up your side hustle so that the processes become streamlined and straightforward. This will help you operate without losing your mind and get closer to consistent sales. That's taking care of you and the actual business. Also, keep trying to connect with other business people, both are well established and those that are both up and coming. You will find that the better lessons come from stories of failure, and working around people who are currently working through failure is a best case study. You can see what they're doing wrong in the moment and watch them get themselves out of it or not. You'll eventually be able to help other entrepreneurs gather their selves and get over the humps of problems that they see, because you'll see enough and you have done enough, and you will endear yourself to others, and they will want to continue to rise with you as you are rising itself. So a bit of an inside hit on myself in this one. And the reason why I bring up my many failures is that they actually helped me become where I am right now, to whatever level of success you want to call it. One thing I am continuously working on improving, and usually not doing a great job of it, is making connections. That's something I'm really, really bad at. Networking events are scary to me because they just don't connect in my mind completely, and just in general. A lot of times you're just out there begging people to just say hey to you when you really want to get down past that initial stage and show them what you can do. Now, this won't be one of my more cheerful episodes with great advice, but it is some of the most real advice that I can give to anyone. If you're currently on the failing side of the equation and someone who may bring down an average of 5 people, that may seem like a hard thing to do. You will, in your head, know that no one really wants to have a person that brings them down, but that's not really how the thing works. You work by connections. You work by knowing people, and sometimes the best people to know are people who are not doing quite as well as you are, because then you can help them, and they will always have a gem of something to help you. If you are on the upside, then look for people who need a little help, a little guidance, because they will endear themselves to you by wanting to help you do better as well. And of course, the big thing is to meet people. It doesn't matter who they are, what they do, what their backgrounds are. If they're in similar situations or not similar situations, and they're in competing industries or in something that's totally different, it's all about meeting people and connecting. You'll find the top 5 people are the people that you'll spend time with regardless, and it'll be based on how much business you need to do and what they're working with. Not so much you have a group of 5 guys that hang out together. You have a group of 5 people who seem to be working in the best conditions, and they will always work to boost each other up. That's essentially how it actually works. It's not 5 friends. It's 5 people who seem to be around. And if you're around people who are bringing you down, that's your time to think about maybe jettisoning them from your normal habits and groups. You don't have to completely get rid of them, but you do need to spend more time with other people, finding other people who are doing better on the business thing. Now, the most important thing about this is that a business person needs to learn from failure. Failure shows you where your limits are, and failure shows you exactly how far you can push those limits on both ends, on succeeding and where a little too much success turns into a failure. We collectively need to see more failures so that we can recommend more businesses do things. And we do recommend people do embrace the things that don't work. Don't stick with them, but don't push them away completely. You can pick up whatever statistics you want to quote, but the odds are always against the average guy on the street being a success in any number. I mean, your chances of having a business that works are always at least 6% against you making that happen. So if you want to think you're going to beat the odds, you want to work to make the odds a little better, that's fine. But remember, there are other people out there doing just as well or just as badly as you are, and they need help too. Just find people who are in similar situations and build each other up. And trust me, those 5 guys that you're hanging out with, you will all bring the average of yourselves up in the process. So, Bobby, thank you for sending the question. And hopefully this wasn't too muddled and hopefully it wasn't too down. Hopefully you'll be able to find some people just to connect with, which I know is a hard thing to do. But once you find some connections, just start working those things and making them better. And as we said, work to make the guys you're with better, and they'll do the same, and you'll all grow together. It's not finding an average of people who are already there to build you up. It's about finding a group of people and building each other up so your average gets higher. Also, thank you for all the listeners who tuned in for this week's episode. We can't have this thing without you. Also, we can't do it without our sponsor for this week, and that is spotlighting on FreshBooks. And the all-new FreshBooks, which may not seem all new anymore, but it's still the best cloud accounting software for any small business owner. And we're not going to just say it from the testimonies I give. We're going to give a few testimonies from some 5-star reviews on GetApp. It's actually pretty good. It's get a 4.5 rating out of 5. Here are some of the top reviews that have come down recently. The first thing I love about FreshBooks was the interface. The icons, the buttons, the way everything looks is so appealing to me. It made me love the trial version and definitely made me want to go to the full version. Another one, the biggest benefit we receive is how easy it is to send invoices and get paid online. FreshBooks makes this a lot easier than some of the other solutions we've tried over the years. FreshBooks is a simple and straightforward accounting solution. There it is, a simple and straightforward accounting solution. Is that what you need for your business? Do you need something for your business? Have you even started thinking about accounting? FreshBooks is an invoice software that saves you time, saves you money, saves your sanity. It creates professional-looking invoices in seconds. It saves you time and lets you accept credit cards on your invoices automatically. And you can put your business essentially on autopilot. And the biggest thing is the interface is active anywhere. If you have a smartphone, you have a computer, you have a tablet, anywhere you have web access, you can pull up the interface and work on your accounting or not work on your accounting if you make it automated. We have a great deal for you if you check us out via our website. So go to businessquestionsansweredhere.com/FreshBooks. businessquestionsansweredhere.com/FreshBooks and click on the link there for a great deal on your subscription to FreshBooks. It is accounting software made simple, made easy, made just for you. This week we asked the question simply, who are the 5 guys that you hang out the most with? Who are the 5 people that you identify with as your business posse, as the people in your personal board of directors, whether official or unofficial? Who are the people that support you and you support in your business journey? We asked you the question. You can answer it in the comments section of this episode. You can help us grow and maintain this podcast by visiting the link for our sponsor, all our sponsors, and of course, just stop by the website, businessquestionsanswered.com, and seeing all the features that are there. For more information about the podcast, archive, and subscription information, and submit your questions for review, it's all right there. Once again, I'm Jay Clifton Payne, eagerly awaiting your business question to answer here.